All right. Back at it again. Missing the
hmm
homies. I'm not going to say the. No, I should. Welcome back to Missing the Homies. This is the show where I bullshit with my homies. This episode,
Fuck, where does that come?
this month. Oh, yeah, this is the limited edition Liquid Death Tall Boy Convicted Melon. Actually, I don't know
Okay.
that it's limited edition. But yeah, so, anyways, we're back at it. We're going to talk Stranger Things season 3. You said this is your favorite season?
Yeah, I did say that.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were gonna be more. I thought you were gonna say more about it, but anyways, the
Well,
ceremonial
I don't
gong
know. Yep, it was much better than the last one.
with no earbuds.
Yeah, no, season three, it do be my fave.
Um,
It's a polarizing season because it's so different from the other three, and it was like a lot of people you either love it or you hate it
really?
because kind of where the storyline goes. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's so many like things that just don't get answered
Well,
from it.
I feel like because this is the season. Like I said, I feel like this is where the story actually starts.
This is like the way I see it, it's when they got like crazy, like they were already crazy popular, but it's like they were on a high when they wrote this season.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And they
yes.
even said going into four, they had to like really focus on what their storylines were going to be because there's like a lot of unanswered questions from like three,
Mm-hmm.
which like
Um,
yeah.
which
And again, as we've discussed in great fucking detail, the parallels between like two to
in
four,
great
no,
fucking detail.
like on and off this fucking podcast, like the two to four parallels are insane. There's not as many like three to four parallels.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
I think
mean,
that's because they're like, yeah, we gotta go back to our OG story that they started in two.
but I mean, also 3. I feel like runs into season 4
Yeah, it does.
really, really well. So feel like it's not
They like
so
pulled I
much.
feel like they pulled ideas, like, they followed the storyline, but like their like underlying story that was always like from season one storyline that we got, it
Meaning the will of it all.
like I yeah, like the whole upside down of it all.
Mm.
Is again, we find out more things in four, but I don't want to get there. Don't
Yeah.
want to go
So okay.
it.
So I guess that's
Want to stick
where
with three.
maybe we should start at the end of 3 and work our way to the beginning
I don't
because
know.
I don't
I
know where
don't.
season 3
You know
ends.
what's funny is all of my notes are mainly quotes.
Amazing.
I love that for me.
Oh
I
my
do
gosh.
want to start this season off by saying, because I know you hate that I talk about Mike and Will. This was the season that I officially decided because I will say, season one and two, I didn't have a problem with Mike and 11. This was the season that I jumped on the, oh no, I don't like them. Like, I
Oh
never
yeah.
loved them. I never loved them. I've said that. I thought the first time I watched them kiss in season one, I was like, what the fuck's happening?
Well, because
But
season
I
3,
didn't like
this is
mind it.
where this is
They
where
treated it as the whole relationship's a joke.
in this season.
Yeah, their
Yeah,
whole
because
relationship is treated as a joke.
this is where Max comes in and starts to be like, at
Hey, girl,
first, I thought
I
it was kind of weird, but then I was like, no, go
I have
Max.
I have a lot about Max in my notes.
This is the season where Max really shines.
Yeah. Well, next season she definitely does, but
Well,
this is the season of Max. Like,
that's what I'm
we,
saying. Like, I feel like
yeah.
this season, Max
hmm
really.
So I mean, if we want to, we can, because we already said our groupings. I feel like the adults, I don't have much to say.
Yeah, because what did they? Wait,
So the whole thing with
the adults
like,
were
this is the
were Joyce,
Joyce and Hopper, like you get that slow burn.
but is this just Joyce and Hopper, or is this the season where
And Murray.
Murray and Alexi too? Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because they're all in the underground. Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So this is they go to Murray because Joyce is just upset about her magnets,
Oh my god, the
and
fucking
Hopper
magnets.
asking her on dates. And okay, something I did right that I thought was really funny is like Hopper is like pissed about Mike and 11 like making out all summer, and he is describing like what an insufferable like little bitch boy like Mike is, and Joyce's face is like, what do you mean? Because like she's known Mike since he was like fucking 4, and she's
Yeah.
like, this is my son's best friend, like I love Mike, but like her face is like, what do you mean?
And also because Joyce or because Hopper's trying. Oh, I was like, is that your cat or is that mine? Because Nay left and Sweaty's gonna start crying.
That was my phone.
Oh, yeah, and that was definitely my cat.
Mm.
I was just gonna say because Hopper wants to make out with Joyce too, so
Oh my
bad,
god,
and
so
this is the
bad.
season.
He gets that little Hawaiian shirt.
The Hawaiian.
I
I have
love
to have a note.
his little secretary woman. I love her. She's trying to parent him so hard.
Oh
I
my
just love
god!
everybody's reaction to that shirt, actually.
Damn, I don't have any
I
notes.
do not have a note about the shirt.
I do have a note that says Hopper's Fat Rambo is the best nickname.
Oh my God.
Hopper. The note exactly says Hopper Fat Rambo best nickname. God.
But yeah, essentially they're just truly the whole time flirting and he's so pissed that she like stood him up on the date because she was upset about her magnets
Yes. Which
to go see Scott Clark.
oh my god, fucking
Love him.
Mr. Clark is the unsung hero
Of the
this
series.
of the series.
They
I really hope
be nowhere without him.
I really hope season 5 they bring Mr. Clark back.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a grizzled Mr.
That'd be so funny if he's just like in the woods.
He's like, I knew some shit was going down since the beginning. He's like,
Since Dustin called about that tank.
he's like, Dustin, you tipped me off, and I knew everything was going south.
Literally.
That would be so funny. But so this was the season. 1. I mean, Joyce was obviously the best throughout the entire thing, but I feel like, especially with some,
upper.
with the whole magnets thing, I was like, Joyce, how do people not just believe #believe Joyce?
Because the whole Lonnie of it all, remember?
Not the Lonnie of it all. That's the episode name right there.
The Lonnie of it all, the Lonnie Byers of it all.
Not the Lonnie Byers of it
like,
all.
Preconditioned that whole town to believe him instead of her. Made her out to be some crazy bitch, but like we have seen her be right every single season.
Literally every time. And the magnets thing is, obviously, I mean, I marathoning this show, I #believe Joyce.
Yeah.
So like if Joyce says something's up,
it's up.
It's up.
It's up.
But like to even see the magnets and her to be like, something's fucked up here.
Yeah.
Like she is so good. And I don't know if this is the season where she's like, Hopper, were you serious about Detective Joyce? It's this season. That made me so happy because I feel like in my notes from the first season, I have that Detective Joyce is the best. So like
potential.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And she carries the whole shit.
No, she really does.
She does like, Hopper's job for him.
How did the mayor?
That was fucking crazy.
After Hopper beat the shit out of him.
Beat the absolute that scene. This season was 1 and 2. I feel like they were good, but they were more set up. Season 3 was where I feel like got the real spectacle.
I think we should pause and talk about the timeline of this all.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So last season was November. Like it ended in like early November because it was like Halloween, right?
Yeah.
We did Halloween. So it hasn't even been a full fucking year. It has been like 8 months since like Bob. All right.
Yeah, because it's 4th of July weekend, right?
Yeah, this is 4th of July. Like,
it's just the day.
There's a few days in there, but it ends on 4th of July.
Wow.
Like the finale is 4th of July.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, it's 9 months of it all.
But like it's the beginning of like July, so like really it's like 8 months.
Wow.
But like for real, it's been okay. So 8 months. Joyce just watched her boyfriend be brutally fucking murdered after she watched an exorcism of her son
Literally had to light her son on fire and stick him with
as
one of
he
those
was
hot
choking.
coal pokey things.
That was Nancy.
Oh, that was
But like,
Nancy. Shit.
but like, he was choking her out, trying to kill her. And I think we moved past that. Really, like, we just don't talk about the trauma that the Byers family has been through.
You know, that's one thing that I've like
That means
been,
that Jonathan and Nancy have been together like not 8 months then.
but so that's one thing that I think about watching a show like this.
Mm-hmm.
I literally like this is big picture. This is me zooming out of what we're
Yeah.
doing. But like watching it so fast, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not getting those stakes as if I were watching it as it's coming out, because like not obviously you're not going to feel like months have gone by like between episodes or between between seasons, yeah. But I'm just like, I think I forget that like
Hasn't even been a year.
it had in the timeline of the show, it's been
It
it's
hasn't
been
it hasn't even been 2 years since Will got taken.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And
like based on this, the kids just like we're gonna assume they all just turned 14.
wow.
And they're still 14 in season 4.
Wow.
Because
Really?
the time it's
Well,
not
yeah,
that
because they're
some of
freshmen.
them some of them turn 15 in season 4, but like not all of them.
Holy shit.
But like canonically, we only know one birthday, as we know.
Whose?
Will's.
Fuck yeah, you're right, because that's
We
her season 4
know
star.
we only know the one birthday, and they pretended. I think they're pretending. I think they're lying to us that they said they didn't remember, but who doesn't remember that? Because all of their fans remember. Anyway, they're like 14-year-old fucking children who just finished middle school.
That is fucking crazy. Crazy. Yeah,
like the only
this is
one
the
out
summer.
of high school is Steve. Steve is the only one out of high school.
Oh my
Because
god.
this is something I thought about. So obviously, all right.
And Steve
like,
keeps getting the shit kicked out of him,
like,
so he's not inspiring confidence.
Forward to the ending, but we know Billy dies. And
wow. Spoiler?
I said jumping forward, but we know in like going into season 4, Max visits Billy's grave, and on the grave, I did the math, he's 18. But we know Billy is fucking abused by his father and would have gotten the fuck out of Hawkins. He has to be a senior the upcoming year because he would have left. Why would he have stayed if he was 18? He has to be in Nancy's age, like school wise. Because there's no reason he would have stayed in Hawkins. He would have moved the fuck out as soon as he turned 18 if he graduated high school that year.
Yeah, well, because he's what we meet Billy and Max in season 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, because
it's never explicitly said how old he is.
Well, because Billy and Steve are playing basketball, and Steve is a senior.
Yeah.
And Billy is not in his class. Like, he's new.
They never explicitly say like how old.
Yeah, so
he is.
he's either a junior or a sophomore, or a junior or a senior.
A junior and senior, but like looking at like a wider lens, if he's already 18 when he dies, not a chance. Because okay, so this is something else. Billy's birthday is a week after Will's. It's on his tombstone.
What do you think the significance of that is?
There's a lot of I was gonna bring that. There's a lot of like parallels between Will and Billy. They're both William.
Oh yeah.
Their birthdays are a week apart. They both got possessed.
Does it say William on his tombstone?
William Hargrove. Yeah, there's a lot of like parallels between the two, and like I'm sorry, there's so many names like, and you went with William. Like it's just bold, you know. But I don't know what it means. I don't. But it's just something I was thinking about in season 4 of okay, so Billy must have been in Nancy's grade because there's no way that because if his birthday was in March. Obviously, he would have, if he would have graduated that year, like Steve, he would have left. He wouldn't have been working at the pool that summer.
Yeah.
Not a chance. So he must have been like
Nancy's age.
Nancy's like school year age, like Nancy, Jonathan, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way. I also thought Jonathan was older until like season 4. Like I thought Jonathan was Steve's age.
Well, Jonathan looks older. Like just his character, whatever his.
Because like Joe Keery, I think, is the oldest one.
Really?
Joe Keery's 30.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He's got that Ben Schwartz young face.
He's this is his best season. Anyways, back to the adults.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So look, we're
really good Joyce and Hopper love story, and then the heartbreak.
I did make one note. Murray.
Mm-hmm. He married them.
Wait,
Murray married them.
Oh, never mind. I already talked about it in the other episode about how I love him, how he's from the other guys, and he did Murray the shit out of them.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm sorry. Him and Alexi had so much chemistry. R.I.P. to that relationship and to Alexi.
R.I.P. Alexi didn't deserve. Well, I mean, Alexi was
he was like a Russian.
Yeah, he was a Russian spy. Never mind.
He was just doing what he was supposed to do, and he was like leaving. He was like, "I'm cool being on this side." He didn't want to do all that stuff.
I think it's so sad that they got him at a fair.
That's so crazy, right? Like that no one was like,
and in the middle in the middle of the like fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't tucked off.
Murray when he was like, I just went to go get like a corn dog.
This was the shit with the funhouse was
crazy.
So cool. That was like I didn't make a note of it, but I like made a mental note of just the whole sequence of Hopper in the mirrors.
Yeah.
Was one of the coolest shots I've ever seen, just ever. And
I absolutely loved the scene when they're like stealing the car. And he's like talking about like Detective Joyce and all this stuff, but he's like, yeah, I've got to transport this like the like most dangerous fucking criminal ever. And then it just cuts to Alexi like with his Slurpee, like being like, hey.
And I love that the guy's license plate said Todd Father.
Oh, because we get that whole Steve's her daddy now.
Who the hell's Todd?
That was so much. Speaking of other adults, I feel we should mention the Billy and Karen of it all.
Oh my god.
Number one, why is Karen wearing stilettos with her swimsuit at the pool?
Because she's trying to fuck Billy.
Okay, so we have established he is 18, but he is her daughter's age.
Yeah.
So like.
And this is not possessed Billy, right? He wasn't possessed at that point.
Not in the beginning. He is like just Billy. Like but just Billy, just a piece of shit. But like when it starts, he's going to meet her. And she doesn't go because she sees Holly sitting with Ted and she's like, my family.
Literally, that is the only thing Holly.
We know that Holly is Ted's favorite.
That is the only.
Do you think the other kids talk to Ted?
I don't know. I mean,
there's not a chance like that Nancy talks to Ted Wheeler.
Everybody
like,
hates
I think
Ted.
They have lived silently in that home for years at this point.
Everybody hates Chris, but swap Chris for Ted.
Know that Barb died.
Oh my god, he doesn't even know Barb's
like,
name.
We haven't seen that girl in a while. Where's she been? That's so crazy. Like he only knows that Will went missing because the police were at his house.
And even that, he still like only kind of knows what's happening.
He just knows that like the government was in his home. He's like, yes, we support our troops. But yeah, no. That there is that scene when like Karen goes to like talk to Billy and he's like having like that panic attack post.
Yeah, like, he's full on.
Did you notice like
possessed
he is just like. It's a very small detail that I didn't notice the first time. Homie's in there and you like, oh, he's sweating. Like he's sweating. No, he's eating bleach.
He's what?
He's like drinking bleach. Like he's drinking like the pool like chemicals.
Oh, no, I didn't notice
Because
that.
he's like played. And we know that later on we see like Heather's family, which Heather and her family, they did deserve better. Poor
Heather.
Heather.
Oh, yes, yes,
Heather
yes.
was just trying to help her coworker and was
Yeah.
like mentally raped.
Well, I mean, also,
And like
Heather's
killed his family.
Heather's dad fired Jonathan and Nancy. Oh no,
Yeah.
he fired them. That was also fucking crazy. Okay, wait, Sassy, we're about to get kicked off.
Damn.
We have 5 minutes.
Damn.
Let's wrap up the parents.
Yeah, that was the I felt like Karen was the last of it.
Yeah,
The billion of it. And it really doesn't get
the
brought
Billy
back
of
up.
it all.
Like the Karen Billy thing of it all, it doesn't get brought back up. And I am very confused on that because what?
Well, like, you know, like Mike jumping off a fucking cliff. I feel like so much happens
filled with so much.
that like that is like
It just
peanuts.
gets skipped over.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because
And especially with this being
by the
3
end
days.
of the episode, she's like with Ted on the top of the Ferris wheel, being like, "Oh yeah, like little romantic best seats in the house up here." Like
I
making
hated
jokes
that.
about like, and then they're like making jokes about like Hopper and Joyce being like a weird couple at the fair because they like held hands to run away. And I'm like, but at the same time, you get the scene where like Ted says something and she fucking hates Ted. Like it is my favorite thing. Anytime Ted opens his mouth in front of Karen, she's just like rolling her eyes all the way back, like a full.
I think this was the season where Dustin comes in and eats all the food and
No, that's next season.
Oh, that's next. Okay, then never.
Yeah, that's season 4.
I really love that Ted has just become the punching bag, and I really fucking I
Public
rolled
enemy number 1 is Dustin Henderson though.
I rolled my eyes as hard as Karen rolls her eyes when they did the whole Ferris wheel thing. I was like, oh my god, I don't care that Karen
also,
performatively loves like Ted. Fuck Ted. Ted sucks.
She hates it. She is there for Holly and Holly only. She was like, there's too much of an age gap between my kids. This was fucked up of me to do. Like, I genuinely think Karen just wants to continue having kids so she doesn't have to talk to Ted.
She's got somebody else to talk to.
If she's a mom, she doesn't have to talk to Ted.
Fucking Ted. Ted sucks.
Oh my God,
how did we lose? Well, never mind. I know how we lost Bob and Ted stayed alive by being a coward. Oh, God. Anyways, the parents suck.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me tell you my beginning season faves.
Okay.
To end off season 3. I really my
Wait,
top
like end season 3 or just starting season 3?
Beginning of, to end this episode of season 3.
I got it.
My beginning of the season favorites were number 3, Dustin.
Okay.
This is where he had the compass, right? No, he started out with Cerebro. Like Dustin just started to have the gadgets by this point.
No, this is when he heard the Russian.
Yeah, through Cerebro.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
anyways, 2.
Compass 4.
Hopper, but specifically Hopper where he wanted to kill Mike.
Yeah.
Like where he was sitting in the grocery store with Joyce being like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill this.
When he's like, you gotta go.
13-year-old child.
Grandma is dying.
literally.
There's like a really good blooper of him not being able to say grandma and just like fucking losing it. You should look it up. It's funny.
The whole like Hopper being that petty was so funny to
He's
me.
not wrong though.
He's not wrong.
He's really not wrong.
But
he's like my child who has never been outside of a lab or this cabin.
Right. And like Hopper and Max both doing that to 11 this season, I thought was so great because at first I was like, it's kind of weird. And then I took 3 seconds because I hated Mike, but I was being a Mike apologist, being like, no, let the little kid like be in little kid love. And then I was like, no, this girl can't
leave the cabin. Like
this child is being brainwashed just by different people. I'm like,
just like not on purpose. Like
yeah, so it's like maybe,
I don't think it's on purpose, but it is like Hopper is thinking just of her in this situation
And
of
same
like,
with Max. I think
but
Max
Max
is
the first person that was like, "What do you want?" Because
yeah,
Hopper is still in like, "This is
dad
what I want for
dad
you."
mode.
Max is the first person that's like, "But what do you want?"
Right. Which I
And
think
that's like such a heartbreaking line where she's like, "How do I know what I want?"
fuck.
Broke me apart. That's a whole other note section.
But so I thought the reason I thought it was so funny that Hopper was that because the first 2 seasons Hopper was such a badass, and I feel
Mhm.
like he was so stone cold. He's like, nah, we're just gonna get this shit happening.
He's a
And then
dad now.
and then season 3, him being a dad, like immediately he was super petty, like with
Big.
Joyce and 11 and Mike, and I was just like,
Mhm.
it was a really nice like turn for Hopper,
Yeah.
just because I and then he started to really get on my nerves. And then my number one favorite.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Steve in the booty shorts.
Loser Steve.
In the
Yes.
booty shorts.
Loser Steve, when everybody starts to be like, wow, God, Steve is so annoying. Steve sucks. But he's still
Steve
like,
honestly is not getting bitches.
but Steve steady not getting bitches and still thinking he's the coolest guy is so funny.
It's worked for him up until this point.
And I love it, especially like the him and Robin dynamic duo.
So there is a whole page of notes of just Steve and Robin. I need you to know that because
Yes.
they are my favorite pairing in this whole show.
And with that being said, I think that's where we're at. And
A lot more of the parents than I expected us to have.
honestly, same. I didn't think we were going to talk that much about.
I do genuinely have like 2 notes.
All right. Well, we'll be back in the next one.